We have the Elimination Chamber disaster. We have talents going rogue. We have locker room meltdowns, and it's going to all explode here on the Brash and the Braves. We've got Jey Uso reacted to fan backlash, to the boos and all the numerous thousands of dislikes he got on YouTube. Is the Yeet movement slowly dying? Also, ladies and gentlemen, the future of the WWE WrestleMania. What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you what you deserve, what you know. We're going to make you get into the thick of this very video because we are going to pile it on. We are going to give you the motivation here on the Brash and the Braves. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications. Will Roman Reigns be replacing Triple H as head of creative? The mystery crate reveal, Bianca Belair, all that and much more, ladies and gentlemen. Roman Reigns replacing Triple H as head of creative? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Well, is that an angle? Is that a storyline? Is that developing? Well, if you thought that the road to Vegas was going to be a smooth ride, you need to wake up because the wheels have completely fallen off, and we are just a couple of days away from the Elimination Chamber. What is happening backstage in the WWE right now isn't a storyline. It is an absolute locker room mutiny. Triple H losing control, the talent going rogue, and Saturday's Elimination Chamber in Chicago is about to be the main and most catastrophic premium live event of the decade from my estimation. We have superstars shooting on management. We have a massive mainstream television deal with ESPN collapsing and canceling the WWE Draft. We have direct threats in the chamber match itself is going to be hijacked by surprise entrants stealing spots. If you want the sugar-coated version, go watch the WWE pre-show. If you want the brutal, unscripted truth about the meltdown happening behind closed doors right now, stay right here. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell. We are going to go deep for the next several minutes. If you want more videos like this, click the bell, subscribe, comment, interact, and share this video all over the entire internet. Now let's start where the talent are going rogue. Stratton and Fatu. Let's start with the absolute disrespect happening in public. In the past 24 hours, two massive stars have completely broken character because the frustration backstage is boiling over. First, Tiffany Stratton goes on No Contest Wrestling podcast and publicly shoots on her own creative direction. She called her run stale and openly demanded that they bring back her spice and turn heel. You don't do that unless you are fed up with management watering you down. What are your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on production and the staff and the handling of Tiffany Stratton on WWE TV? It all boils down to your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. It's all about your emotions. And it's not just the women's division that's an issue. It's not just the women's division that is a problem, viewers, fans, and subscribers. Oh, no, because this is just scratching the surface at this point. The bloodline is cracking. As you can see, the bloodline is all over WWE TV, whether it be Raw, whether it be Smackdown, but they're not all together as a cohesive unit. They're all broken up, whether it be a tag team, whether it be singles. However, the fan backlash against Jey Uso has been so vicious that Jacob Fatu just went completely off script in the WWE just the day before Smackdown on Sci-Fi. Telling the fans, or is it going to be on USA Network this week? I can't tell. It's always back and forth. I think it's going to be back on USA Network this Friday night Smackdown. Telling fans to shut up and enjoy the show. This is panic mode. The talent feels that the storylines aren't working, the fans are getting toxic, and Triple H is completely failing to keep a lid on the pressure cooker. The inmates are officially running the asylum, it would appear, it would seem like. And if you think the chaos is just an internal rumor, look at the financial fallout, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at it, just feel it, just get it. It is absolutely insane. We just got breaking news that the WWE Draft is effectively dead in the water for 2026. Why? Because ESPN walked away. ESPN wanted to broadcast. They wanted to broadcast the WWE Draft. They wanted a massive NFL-style crossover. But when their execution and their executives looked at the state of the WWE, the fluid rosters, the talent shooting on podcasts, the absolute lack of control, they realized that it was a toxic investment. Triple H couldn't guarantee who would be on what show because the talent is doing whatever they want. You got SmackDown guys on Raw. You got Raw guys on SmackDown. You got an influx of NXT talent. You got all these different things going on. You got all these different variables all at the damn same time. But ladies and gentlemen, Triple H couldn't guarantee who was going to be on what show. And again, the WWE Draft over the last few years, would you even want to see a WWE draft? Would you even want to see an extension? Would you want to see a lottery? Because really, what does the draft mean in 2025, 2026? What does a draft even mean? What does it bring to the table? What does it change? Does it change the ratings? Does it change the overall presentation of the show? The skeptics, the spectics? I mean, really, the draft does not hold the same kind of relevance that it once did, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It really didn't. Doesn't. Listen, when the draft first started, when it first came onto the main roster, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, when John Cena was introduced to Raw and Batista was drafted to SmackDown. Remember when it was a big deal when a Raw guy invaded SmackDown or when a SmackDown guy invaded Raw? Remember when that was big TV? Remember when that actually meant something? Well, the draft doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot now. But maybe this is where the ESPN could step in and make it meaningful. Maybe they could have some kind of aura. Maybe ESPN could change the way of the WWE draft. Make no mistake about it. ESPN could be that difference maker for the WWE draft. But even then, I don't know. I really don't know. Now, again, would you want to see the draft? Do you think ESPN could change up? Could they make it relative? Could they make it interesting? Again, guys, with the right booking, and again, you got the creative team, the kind of creative that we got nowadays, it's just, none of it is the same. Nothing is feeling the same. Which brings us to this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Brings us to this Saturday. But before we get into that, and now Raw and SmackDown, according to those who know the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, Raw and SmackDown are going to be an absolute free-for-all heading into WrestleMania 42. Again, this is another news item. This is another news bit that is coming into my show right now. It is a massive failure by TKO management, according to those in the know. That is the feeling going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. Which brings us to this Saturday. The United Center, Chicago, is going to be ground zero for this mutiny. WWE announced the Elimination Chamber lineup, but reports confirm that surprise entrants are being added on. Yes, you heard that right. Surprise entrants are being added on. How? Because rogue superstars are planning to brutalize the scheduled talent because this is because of what is going on right now. This is the current state. This is the WWE in an influx. Because rogue superstars are planning to brutalize the scheduled talent backstage to foreseeably steal their spots. Yeah, you heard that right, to foreseeably steal their spots. And look at the main event. Look at it. Just look at it. CM Punk versus Finn Balor. The rumor, again, this is not confirmed. Again, it's always subject to change. The rumor is that AJ Lee is going to be so fed up with this chaotic locker room environment that she is going into business for herself. Forget a corporate plan. Forget the Intercontinental Championship that she's going to go against Becky Lynch. Oh, no. Is AJ Lee deciding that she wants to burn it all down? Imagine the disaster for Triple H if AJ Lee violently turns on her husband, CM Punk, in his hometown, completely ruining the World Heavyweight title match. That is the predicament that we could be facing. That is the predicament that we could be in at the Elimination Chamber. And if that wasn't enough to give management an anxiety attack, the mystery boxes that have been appearing on Raw and SmackDown, sitting backstage, are the final nail in the coffin. If the rumors are true, again, the rumor are true. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, hype up the video today. And Jon Moxley is using a legal loophole to smuggle Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins into the building inside those crates. Triple H has officially lost the company. The Shield returning to hijack the Elimination Chamber would be the ultimate act of defiance. Okay, it would be absolutely defiant for the Shield to do something quite like that. And if anybody could pull this off, it would be the WWE, because nobody thought in 2025 and 2026 that the WWE would have a partnership, that they would be together with TNA. But that is exactly what the WWE is doing. They are together. They are a well-oiled unit. But we also know that the big two companies, the big two promotions we want to see together are AEW and WWE. That would be the premiere. That would be the promise. That would be what everybody wants to see, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about it. But is the WWE about to go all the way with that? Would the WWE be able to reach some sort of an agreement? Would they be able to meet halfway? Would WWE and AEW be able to trade off talents on certain occasions, like a big WrestleMania, like a big PLE, maybe a big episode of Raw, maybe a special episode of Smackdown? Maybe WWE guys could go to Dynamite, maybe they could go to Collision. I mean, this could be a collision course, ladies and gentlemen. Now, WrestleMania 42 is going to be built on the ashes of the Elimination Chamber. Yes, you heard me right. On the ashes of the Elimination Chamber. The talent has revolted. ESPN has seemingly walked away in their own way. And Chicago is going to be an absolute bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute bloodbath of historic proportions. Now, let's get to the quick take because this show's about you. Without you, there is no show and view. You guys are the foundation. You guys are the heartbeat of what I do and what I bring. What is the biggest disaster in the WWE right now, currently, as I talk, for Triple H and WWE? Option A, talent shooting on podcasts. Option B, ESPN canceling the WWE Draft. Option C, the Elimination Chamber getting hijacked. Get in the comments and hit that like button right now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on top of this, we always bring you into the know. We bring you very deep into the thick of things because Show and Viewtainment knows that it is all about you. What are your predictions for the Elimination Chamber? Now, there has also been talk. There has been talk, rumor, and gossip. There has been rumor and gossip and talk beyond the Elimination Chamber predictions and what you feel is going to go on and the winners and who's going to lose, who's going to walk out the champion. There could be a major monkey wrench turned in to the Elimination Chamber. And I'm talking about, yes, a new World Heavyweight Champion. You read that right, a new World Heavyweight Champion. Now, with everything that is going on, wait a minute, Sean, so then you're telling me that they're going to put off Roman Reigns and CM Punk at WrestleMania? Well, no, what I'm telling you is it could turn into, this could be the WrestleMania of multi-man matches. Because reportedly, the WWE Championship will also be a multi-man match on the SmackDown side with Drew McIntyre. Yes, you heard that right. It will be a multi-man match on the SmackDown side with Drew McIntyre. It will be multiple opponents. It could be a fatal four-way. It could be a five-pack challenge. It could be a six-pack challenge. But on the Raw side, you could also be getting more than just a one-on-one match. Now, of course, if Finn Balor does indeed defeat CM Punk in a shock and a swerve that nobody would see coming, Finn Balor wins the match, wins the World Heavyweight title, then the very next night on Raw, because, it seems like Finn Balor has built up a reputation of holding the gold for one night and then he loses it the next night, whether it be injury, whether it be, debacles, whether it be certain other situations. Finn Balor wins the world title at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago. Can you imagine the atmosphere? Can you imagine the crowd? Can you imagine the reactions from the WWE faithful in Chicago? Listen, the WWE is already having a hard time filling up Chicago, which they never have. The WWE never has problems or issues selling out Chicago. But when you have the ticket prices as much as they are, when you have the ticket prices being as ridiculously priced as they are, I am not shocked that the WWE is not filling up Chicago come the night. But, ladies and gentlemen, there may be a silver lining because the next night on Raw, if CM Punk does indeed lose the world title at the Elimination Chamber, Finn Balor the next night on Raw challenges CM Punk, where then another massive mess goes down. But this is where you can, have arcs. This is where you can build it up, where the Judgment Day will then screw Finn Balor out of the match, out of the world title, and then CM Punk becomes the world champion again. And then at WrestleMania, you got a match between Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental title against Finn Balor. Now, there's all kinds of sequences. There's all kinds of differences. There's a lot of different variables. There's a lot of different ways that the WWE can go about this and how they can present this. But the main thing right now here, ladies and gentlemen, is this. WWE stars, again, this is huge pivotal news on the Blue Brand of SmackDown. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's up. Again, it is absolute bedlam backstage in the WWE. Again, we're just several hours away from the Elimination Chamber. Several WWE stars are at risk of being kicked off the SmackDown roster for whatever reason, ladies and gentlemen. After Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble at the end of January, he chose to challenge Raw's World Champion CM Punk at WrestleMania 42. WWE stars could be at risk of being kicked off SmackDown roster with a passionate champion issuing an important warning. Ladies and gentlemen, Like, listen, the undisputed WWE Championship is the #1 title in the world. It's got the lineage, including the two guys who have held it. Both of them had a historic reign. Argue all you want, the WWE title is the #1 title in wrestling. For the SmackDown roster, if they didn't watch that, and if they didn't get a light lit under their ass and with gasoline thrown on it every single time they're out there, be it a promo, be it a match, they're not giving 150%, making SmackDown unmissable, then I'm going to kick you off the show. I stay quiet unless you ask for advice. I don't impose my advice, but if I see you bringing the show down, I'll personally go and shout at you until management gets his butt off the show or her butt off the show. If you're not contributing, we've got a 3-hour show. We're competing against Raw as far as I'm concerned. Roman Reigns and CM Punk, all they did was fire me up. And they should have fired everyone else up as well. So again, viewers, your thoughts, your comments, your opinions on all of that. And again, we talked about surprise entrance. We talked about shocking events swirling at the Elimination Chamber. We're going to tell you exactly what we mean by that. Currently, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Jey Uso, and LA Knight are officially confirmed for the match. Now, originally, it wasn't going to be Jey Uso. It was going to be Bronson Reed, but Bronson Reed, as we all know, went down with an injury. The winner is expected to secure a championship opportunity at WrestleMania, putting enormous pressure on everyone involved. However, Dave Meltzer revealed during the Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE could still alter the match structure or add more participants. While discussing WrestleMania scenarios and the possibility of expanding the title picture, Meltzer made it clear that he had heard rumblings about additional names entering the situation. I wouldn't be surprised if we had multiple person match at Mania. I mean, I've heard the rumors of Orton being in it. I just heard Orton might be in it. Jacob Fatu might be in it. Sami Zayn might be in it, you know. And so they're not even, you know, like Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn aren't even in the chamber match. Meltzer's wording about Orton appears to be an obvious slip, since Orton is already officially qualified, so that was a slip on his part. That wasn't me. The real takeaway from his comment centers around the possibility of new additions like a Jacob Fatu or Sami Zayn. WWE has pulled similar moves in the past, especially during WrestleMania season when plans can shift quickly, especially due to either injuries or releases or something not going according to plan, or the WWE having to pivot because of ratings and ticket sales and things of that nature souring down on World Wrestling Entertainment. With tensions rising and the WrestleMania main event picture all taking shape, the Elimination Chamber could serve as a turning point if WWE decides to introduce unexpected competitors at the very last minute. The current 6-man lineup may not be as final as it appears. Do you think the WWE should stick with the 6 confirmed competitors, or would adding someone like Jacob Fatu or Sami Zayn make the match even more unpredictable on the biggest spectacle of them all, WrestleMania, with all eyes on the Super Bowl of professional wrestling? Now, another rumor being, again, I told you guys, if you want more videos like this, like, comment, subscribe, turn that bell on. A massive deep dive. Nobody goes as elusive. Nobody gives you the most detailed, the most energetic, the most heart, the most hustle, the most integrity right here on this very show. There is a rumor, again, this is a rumor, is speculation, that the Elimination Chamber match contested to see who's going to face Drew McIntyre at the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, it may not happen. It may not go down, because between Drew McIntyre and the Masked Man may attack all the combatants, all the superstars that are going to be in that chamber match, making the chamber match null and void. And that is how we would get to a multi-man match at WrestleMania for the coveted WWE Championship, ladies and gentlemen. That is how we would get there. That is how the road to WrestleMania would absolutely intersect. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to intercept your comments, your thoughts, and your opinions, because the time is now to let out your emotions, because without you, there is no show. You brew up the show. You bring the show to another high. We got to climb the ladder of success. We got to bring this to a whole nother level. And that is exactly what we're going to do right here on Show and View. We are going to level up, because that is what is up now. And yet another bonus material. Cody Rhodes reacts to the Cody Sucks chants. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions. Also, Fred Ottoman, Typhoon from WWE, home after surgery, begins recovery. And don't forget that TNA Impact is tonight, and what should be one whole hell of a show. What can you anticipate, and what can you expect, and what do you hope that you get out of TNA Impact tonight? Bronson Reed issues his first post-surgery message. Again, I'm not the biggest Bronson Reed fan, but wish all the best and the well to him. Plenty more to come from the Brash and the Brazen. We will always overcome every situation that we can. Subscribe.